Hi, everyone. Jennifer Patino here from Professional and Continuing Education Programs at CSUB's Extended Education. Welcome to our info session for the Pharmacy Tech program. With me today, I have two helpers. Stacy Childress, who's our marketing director. He will be helping me field some questions, as well as Jeanette Ennis, who is also in marketing and will also be helping me field some questions. If you guys have questions, be sure you go down in the bottom to Zoom, type it in the question area, and I'll answer all questions at the end. I think we're ready to get going. Again, thank you so much for joining us, and let's get started. Let's tell you what's great about our Pharmacy Tech program. Okay, again, thank you everyone for joining us today for the CSUB info session for the Pharmacy Tech program. We're going to go ahead and get started, and hopefully we'll answer all the questions that you have. And if you have questions, again, don't forget to put them down in the bottom of the Zoom where it says questions, and we'll get to them. So the most important thing I get asked a lot is, what is a pharmacy technician? So a pharmacy technician is the backbone of the pharmacy. But the biggest thing to always remember is it is the pharmacy tech's responsibility and role to support the pharmacist as quickly and as accurately as possible. It is very important that all the pharmacy technicians are aware of the different drugs, if it's generic or brand, and they have to also know the conversions. And the great thing about our program is we do all of that for you. We teach you all of that. Our program is taught by Dr. Pat Person. He is a licensed practicing pharmacist here in Bakersfield since 1984. He is actually the pharmacy manager at Ming & H Drugs. He attended CSUB for 1 year, and then he went to Oregon State to get his education. He is also a past president of the California Pharmacists Association. Pat is very passionate about mentoring different pharmacy technicians and helping to support the communities. And he's just very passionate about pharmacy in general and making sure that everyone is as educated and knows up-to-date information as possible. Some of the benefits of attending our CSUB Pharmacy Technician certificate is we are the most reasonable around at $6,000 for a 9-month program. Again, our classes are taught by a local licensed practicing pharmacist with the most up-to-date information. And pretty much from the very beginning of your first class, you're going to get a hands-on practice with prescriptions and medications. Our instructor, Pat Person, has a really strong belief in the no person left behind atmosphere in his classroom. He makes sure everyone in the classroom understands the lessons before moving on to another topic. So there's a lot of support and a lot of making sure everyone has the information, understands it, and is knowledgeable. Pat has a lot of relationships with local businesses, so there's a lot of interactions that happen with our pharmacy tech students and local businesses. In fact, Pat usually brings in guest speakers from a lot of different places, some of the retail pharmacies, CVS, Walgreens, Komodos, as well as some of the hospitals as well. Another great thing about our program is we have externship opportunities. Again, Dr. Person will help our students find externships and get them started in the field. Once you have completed our program, you'll then be eligible for licensure. Program objectives for our pharmacy tech program is understand how to interpret a prescription, which is very important, obviously, as a pharmacy technician. You have to be able to read that handwriting of some of the doctors out there. It can be a little crazy. The major components and functions of a nervous system. Although this is in a biology class, you will get all the basic information down and understand what drugs, what pills, what medications affect what parts of each person's body. The conversions, again, this is a very big one. A lot of people kind of get hung up about the math, but Pat is a great instructor. He makes sure everyone understands it. He makes sure that people understand milligrams to grams, cups to ounces to cups. He goes through all that stuff and you'll get that figured out. Again, because Pat is a licensed practicing pharmacist, he's very up to date on the pharmacy law. So he makes sure that everyone understands if there's new regulations that come out, he helps them and you're up to date and are the most knowledgeable. Our admission requirements to join our program is you must have a high school diploma or GED certificate, be able to pass a basic math skills test with a 70%, and then pay the application fee of $75. Again, let's go a little bit over the costs. The cost of our Pharmacy Tech program is $6,000, and it's broken up into 3 classes. So the first class is Introduction to Pharmacy Technician, which is 8 weeks long and $1,500. The second class is Introduction to Pharmacology and Advanced Pharmacy Calculations. Again, that's 8 weeks long and $1,500. And then our last class is the Pharmacy Technician Certification Exam Prep at 16 weeks and $3,000. So the total cost of the courses is $6,000, but that does not include books and supplies, but those are very slight. The picture on this slide is from our previous completion ceremony, and that is with a couple of our students this past year that just finished up. Again, the $6,000 is, again, very reasonable, as I stated earlier, but there are times that people can't come up with that. That's still expensive. So you have a couple of different ways to pay. You can pay the full course of the fees for each time you register for a course, or we do have a tuition deferment payment plan, which you can sign up for, and it helps you spread out those payments over the cost, spread out those costs over the 10 months that you're taking the program. One thing to be aware of, that our program is a certificate program, so we are not FAFSA based eligible. There is no financial aid available for these courses. So this is a testimonial from just one of the local pharmacies and pharmacists that we've worked with. Kayla from CVS Drugs is a pharmacy manager, and this is what she had to say about our program. As a pharmacy manager, I am always looking for good pharmacy technicians to hire. The technician program at CSUB is taught by a pharmacist who is one of my preceptors in pharmacy school, and he ensures these students are receiving quality training. As someone who has been a guest speaker during class, been involved in class activities, and hired previous students, I can attest that they are getting the best education possible and are adequately prepared to work and contribute to the pharmacy. I currently have 2 previous CSUB students working for me, and they are strong performers, proficient at all stations in the pharmacy, and essential members of my pharmacy team. Thank you, Kayla, for saying that, and all those things are absolutely true. This next testimonial is from one of our past students, Ju. She was in our first cohort, and she is, as you will be able to see, very happy and successful. She is currently working as a pharmacy technician for the Heritage Provider Network Group. I recommend the pharmacy technician program at CSUB Extended Education. This program is well structured with a solid foundation of knowledge and varieties of job training activities. The program advisor, instructor Pat Person, is a widely reputable pharmacist in the local and state pharmacy community and recently served as the president of the California Pharmacists Association. I received knowledge, skills, and connections from this program, which helps me to succeed in my career. Thank you, Ju. We think great things about you. This next slide is talking about the difference between certification and licensure. So in the course, or even if you go to other programs, you'll hear about the PTCB, Pharmacy Technician Certification Board, and then the California State Board of Pharmacy. So the PTCB is a voluntary certification. So then California State Board of Pharmacy is where you actually go through and get your state licensing done. You have to have a live scan, which is fingerprints, and a background check is ran. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I hope I answered some of your questions. And if you have more, I'd love to hear them.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Stace.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
All right. So we have about 5 questions here. Let's just start at the top here. First question, can I apply online or do I need to come to the campus?
Well, you can download the application, but unfortunately, the application along with payment for the application must be turned in. It can either be done on in person here on campus, or you can mail them in. You also have to be able to take the test. So what we typically say is, if you come in to turn in your application, if you're not quite ready to take that test, we say give yourself about a week of studying. And I always say about 10th grade math. and come back in and do that test, and you'll be good to go.
All right, our next question. Are there any internships that will be available after the program?
So the externships that we have through the program are always done in the last 16 weeks of the course. And there are times that some of the students have had to extend their externship hours after the end of the semester. So it is possible that you can proceed with your internship or externship and work your way towards that licensure.
Our next question. How often are we at the pharmacy in the course of the program?
So classes are typically Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights, and Wednesdays are the nights that Pat takes everyone to the pharmacy to kind of get a feel for it, touch some medication, not real medication, but get the feel of how it is to fill the prescriptions and the different types of medications. Besides pills, there's also liquids, there's inhalants. So you do get your hands on them, I would say at least once a week, probably starting with the second or third week of your first course.
All right, so when is the next enrollment period?
I'm so glad you asked that. We're actually just extended our application deadline. We extended it to August 15th. So if you can get your applications in by August 15th, you can start class in August 26th. On August 26th.
Sometime in August, you'll be able to start.
Absolutely.
Now, last question that we have here. Will the price increase for the next enrollment period?
We do not anticipate an increase in the the course fees. Tuition. There we go. That word too.
Okay. And I think that's it for our questions. You did mention that we've extended the application deadline through the 15th of August, and all those details are on the website as of this morning. So everyone feel free to go check that out, csubpharmacytech.com. All right, Jennifer, back to you.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. I hope I answered your questions and that we were able to spread the knowledge and a little bit more information about our program and how we can help you make a career. Our programs here, we change lives. We make sure that you get out there and you know exactly what you're doing before you get out there. This last screen has my contact information, jpatino@csub.edu, or my direct phone line at 661-654-2427. I'm happy to answer any questions. Let us help you get started on your career today. Thanks for coming.